Happy New Year, Dr. Chapa. It's our first show of 2022. We have a lot of stuff to go over. There's a lot of stuff that's going to happen this year. If you have somebody in your life who is struggling to get healthy, maybe they've tried everything or they're just starting to try. There's some things that they weren't genetically born with and they want to make a difference. 2022 of January is the best time to start. Go ahead and share this out. Let us know if you have any questions. We're going to be having some fun. I believe we're going to be talking about Detox that's starting. It's the ultimate 21-day detox experience, and there's a meeting on the 6th. So today is Tuesday the 4th. So Thursday at Butler's Courtyard, you're invited. It's free to attend. There's going to be so many vendors. There's going to be a lot of other people there, community that's doing this together, and that's one of the big differences of this, and maybe you've tried something else that hasn't worked. I've done this detox personally about 4 times, and I'm excited to do it again. Dr. Chapa, good morning. Happy New Year.
And good morning to you, Gardy, and good morning to you guys out there in listener land. I'm excited those that are subscribing to the show every week and learning and growing in your healthcare, because here's the deal. If you're not learning and taking the bull by the horns, you're missing an opportunity, because it is your life, your health, your choice. And we know that if we can teach you, if we can educate you, if we can give you the tools and you can begin to apply these in your life, not even being perfect at it, but just applying these principles to your life day in and day out. How much water to drink? How often per year should you be detoxing? What should you do when you get a cold or a flu? What should you do when your bowels are not performing at their best? What happens when your little kid has a nose that's running, or earache, or fevers that creep up in the night, or coughs? Anything that your body is dealing with day in and day out, because it is. I mean, the weather's changing. It's hot. It's cold, especially here in Texas. I mean, in like one full 24-hour cycle, we had literally 4 seasons.
It's like that Katy Perry song, hot and cold, yes and no. The world doesn't know what's going on. The weather's crazy.
It is, and so your body has to take inventory of some of that, and so you even reached out yesterday and said, hey, I got something going down. Bring me some stuff, and so I brought some stuff in, and just it's the idea of understanding that we have tools in our tool bag to give the body an edge, to give the body the next step in how it can fight back against the changing that is occurring all around us. Because change is happening, right?
Oh, yeah.
And there's nothing we can do to stop it, so we might as well embrace it. And embracing it is appreciating, from a healthcare perspective, that if you're not feeling your best, if you're struggling with headaches or skin issues, or if you're struggling with GI problems or blood pressure issues, there is a reason your body is manifesting those symptom patterns. So we want to help you find a solution so that you feel your best day in and day out. And oftentimes it's in our food. Oftentimes it's in our choices through the day. And we are at the beginning of the year, 2022. It's going to be a great year. Good things coming ahead, is what our pastor said. And here's the scoop. When we attack the new year with a detox program, the ultimate detox experience, you are cleaning out key tissues, key organ systems that need to be cleansed regularly anyway, but we have a hyper-focused attention on these next 21 days. And why 21 days? Well, some people say that's 21 days to make a habit. Some say it's a derivative of 7, which is a heavenly, holy number. Some people, say that it's just that's what they were told to do. I mean, who knows why the number 21, but we do know that I have found that 21 days on the program is 3 months worth of work when you put the detox program in place. And what a way to start off the first quarter is to get a detox under your belt, because it will set the tone. It will set the premise for how you're going to live out February, March, and make sure that even into April that you're feeling good and you're feeling your best. And people lose weight on this program. People's symptom patterns go away. People's headaches stop. They just feel more energetic. They feel like they sleep deeper and better. They enjoy the process. The initial going into any type of cleansing or detoxing can be a little bumpy, because why? They have toxins built up from the holidays. They got toxins built up from the last quarter. And so when they pull out, say, caffeine, or they pull out some of the sugar stimulants that they're used to, thriving on, they have to give their body a chance to acclimate to function without the stimulants. And we help people through those first, 7 days, 4 days, 2 days. Everybody's different, because some of my patients have gone through this 5, 6, 7 times. Jennifer's daughter's been through this 5 times, so her body's going to have less toxins built up, because she's made this more of a lifestyle practice in her training and running and style and implementing these programs than, say, somebody that's been diagnosed with cancer and has gone through chemo. I mean, toxins are coming at us from all over, from the environment, our food, our drink. And so depending on how much indulgence you find yourself getting into processed food. Somebody asked Jennifer the other day, and they said, what can my daughter eat? And he started, asking, this question and that question. And basically, Jennifer had to just sum it up with, well, if it has a label on it, if it's in a package, based on what you're telling me she's eating, she can't have any of it. And he goes, what? What is she going to eat? I mean, will you take her for a week? and the answer is, yeah, that's the easy answer. It's not necessarily, or the simple answer. It's not easy to implement, but at some capacity, when you're putting nothing but processed food into your diet, whether you're a young child or you're an older human that has been around the block a time or two, we know that there is toxins that accumulate in the body, and those toxins that accumulate in the body have to be released. Now, should your liver be able to process those toxins? Yes. But does sometimes your liver need a little extra help, especially if your indulgence, quotient is high, like meaning you're indulging in these poisons more often than not. And if you are, well, you might have a little bit more detox signs and symptoms initially to work through. But if you're incorporating detoxification into your year at 42 days a year, like we teach, you're always we're acclimating your mind to think about food, not just during the 42 days a year that you choose to do the program. We have some people that do 10 days at 4 times a year. Some people do 2 21-day runs. Some people do a 21-day run in 2 10 days. I mean, however they add it up, it's pretty darn close to that 42 place. And there's beauty in that, because there's intention even on the off months. Whenever stresses come up, you're thinking, oh yeah, but I still have some of these habits that I had put in that are still holding on. Every detox that I've done, I learn a new habit. Every detox I've done, I've learned a new food that I like, vegetable that I enjoy. And I'm curious, because I don't know what it'll be. I don't always go into it, I'm hoping I'm going to love eggplant this time. It just kind of evolves, and it's because I'm trying new foods. There's new technology and ideas out there of people, doing this with a vegetable that I never tried before. And so I just kind of keep my ear to the grind and watch the community at hand. I mean, some of the families that do detox with us. Wow. Got a little frog in my throat. Some of these families that do detox with us, they have an opportunity to share and enlighten us, too, on some of the ways that they get their family to incorporate veggies. I mean, Lexi came to me, my 10-year-old, says, all right, me and my friend Elena are doing this detox, and I need to get my food ready and prep. So Sunday we prepped her food, and with kids we let them keep the protein in. With pregnant moms, we change up the detox a little bit and give them protein as well, and alter their sup regime, and in order to make sure that they are focused on building a child, or in the child's case, building and developing their brain and their body, and making sure that we're just taking the big things out, sugars and stimulants and caffeine and things that they might be getting into throughout the 21 days. And so the idea is to give every age bracket an opportunity to cleanse and get in there with your family and make this a family affair, because the more you encourage and teach the youth on how to take the bull by the horns, they're going to get max benefit as they continue to go through their teen years. They'll have less hormone problems if they're female. They'll less ADD signs and symptoms in their learning and studies. They'll have more efficiency and performance in their athleticism. I mean, it's just fascinating. And so this year we've got some really great things going on at Butler's Courtyard. We're going to be having our events, and at 6:30 this Thursday is our kickoff class, and we're going to be introducing a new concept. Again, community-driven. It is incorporating a true group detox where we have group leaders helping to coach and lead the tribe at large in smaller group settings, and making sure that everybody is maximizing their detox experience. And that really is something I love about what we do at Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. We're plussing the detox every year. We always try to make it better than it was the previous year, because we know that people need help. People are busy. People are distracted. People are always looking for an excuse on not to do it. But then if we can make it easy enough where they can find traction to stick with it for 21 days, they will get benefit that I can't even begin to assess, because it's 3 months worth of work in 21 days. I just know that energy goes up, their weight goes down, their mental clarity is sharper than ever, their acuity. They feel enlightened. They feel powerful. They feel like they're ready to tackle a New Year's resolution or a New Year's goal. And last week we talked a little bit about habits. And, it just carries forward right here into the detox. So the Ultimate Detox Program is a great way to start off the year. So I brought you a couple goodies there, Gardy. And
I'm excited. I love goodies.
I know. And especially when they're round and pill-like, they get me really excited too.
Yeah.
So I brought you some rhodiola ginseng, and this is great for adrenal function and brain function. That's the little tablet. And so we're going to basically upregulate your endocrine system, so you can grab that one. I brought you some Viraforce,
So
which
take
you've taken.
Take one out of
Yep.
these? Okay.
Yep. I brought you some Viraforce in order to upregulate your immune system. And I brought you some N-acetylcysteine, which is basically just an immune modulator, a liver cleanser, an antiviral. I mean, it's just got so many cool principles or characteristics that it can really help you, and it'd be really cool to see how we perform while we take these things this morning. So I'm going to take some with you, and but I do get excited about the fact that we have tools in our tool bag, and I'm about to talk about the first step in my cleansing experience this year, where I'm going to be doing some bowel work in preparation for my detox starting on the 10th.
And I'm curious, if you're going to be doing the detox, what's something you're going to focus on, or something new you're going to try and implement? I remember there was one point where Molly was trying not to eat salads, and then I encouraged her to only eat salads for this one. So if maybe you've done the detox before and you have something you're going to challenge yourself with, let's hear it. I want to know.
Yes. Detox what is detox? You know what I mean? Like, this idea of detoxification, is it necessary? Should everybody do it? Is it right for me? Detoxification is a process of removing stimulants, processed foods, sugars that we know denature the body or cause the body to malfunction. And a toxin is just anything your body cannot use. So it's anything your body can't use that gets stored up. And when your body can't get rid of toxins, it stores toxins. And where does it store them?
I'm going to say it can store them in your brain.
That would be one reason people get brain fog, right? And so ADD, brain fog, your names, numbers, words, kind of you lose that, right? So you start going, oh man, my mental acuity is off. Maybe even early onset dementia, signs and symptoms in the elderly. These are all signs that toxins are definitely being stored in the wrong department, in our nervous system, in our brain. And it disrupts the way the brain, north to south, communicates to the rest of the body. That's a problem. Where else can toxins, anything your body cannot use, get stored if not processed and eliminated appropriately?
I've seen it pushed out through my skin. I don't know if it's stored there, but it's definitely
that's an exit channel for sure. So that would be your rashes, that would be your eczema, that would be your psoriasis, that would be acne. that would be absolutely be a place of elimination. And obviously, it's not the best source of excretion, right? There's always better through the bowel. But from a storage that is a good note to see. Hey, assess your body. Do you have acne? Do you have swollen, skin? Do you feel like, your skin is not as healthy looking as you think it should be? Do you feel like you're losing the tone? Do you have, a rash or eczema or psoriasis or a patch of dry skin in certain areas that are keeping you from being your best? So excellent note to say you have toxins if your skin is fouled up in any way. What else might you see, or where else might toxins be stored?
I always hear people talking about a healthy gut. So I don't know, can you store toxins in your gut?
Well, interestingly, you should not store toxins in your gut. But here's what happens. So if you have 28 feet of intestine, right? So and if you look at the way this thing is cut, if we were to cut it open, it would look kind of like little octopus fingers, like projections. We call those villi. And on those villi, we have microvilli. These creates surface area. This creates square footage. And they're little finger-like projections on finger-like projections to maximize the absorption of food in the form of micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, essential fatty acids. And so when your body takes in proteins, carbs, and fats, it breaks them down into these micronutrients, and these little finger-like projections will pick them up. Well, inside of when the finger-like projections butt up to each other, there's these little pockets, and those little pockets, again, are surface area for absorption. But yes, food, just like can get stuck in the crevices of your teeth, can get stuck in these little finger-like projections at the microscopic level. Digestion is very, very violent. If you think about taking a piece of food of sorts that you eat and love, and then you process it into, what we see on the flip side. And so that whole process can definitely break down and get stuck in some of those little crevices. And your intestinal lining is mirrored in your skin. So going back to your skin conversation, your skin, if it is fouled up in any way, if it's swollen, if it's acne laden, if it's rashy, if it's dry and patchy, kind of dandruff in the hairline, you can almost be assured that your GI tract is dirty as well. So no question that you can have some storage of toxins, and I would call it like little pockets, plaque buildup, if you will, in the crevices of the microvilli and the villi that increase absorption rates in your digestive tract. That is another area that we should not be storing toxins, but we definitely can and do. Where else?
What about fat cells?
Did somebody give you that? Nope. I was wondering if somebody gave you...
I was asking for the answer, though.
Okay,
I was like,
right.
come on, somebody tell me the answer.
I see that. I was wondering. So, here's what's interesting is, yes, fat cells are a classic storage facility. I look at fat cells like if you own a storage facility and you pay $100 a month for that facility, fat cells are your storage department, and the fat has benefit to protect us in some capacity. But here's the deal: the fat cell can swell up 7 times the size of normal. This is why we use our Zerona laser to help release those stubborn areas of belly fat, for example, or hip and buttock fat, and help people get a jump start on cleansing. We have people tell us that when they use the Zerona fat loss laser, they see more benefit when they're detoxing. Well, the reason being is because we're releasing the toxins out of the fat cells, because again, they can swell up 7 times. I mean, I want you to think about that for a second. Just take your hands and put them together, and they go 7 times that size. A fat cell can swell up 7 times. Oh, that's scary to see your hands go that wide.
Yeah.
And so that's taking up unnecessary space. And so we see that in the presence of our waistline. We see that in the way that our clothes fit, or I hate to say maybe don't fit. And when those toxins are being stored in those fat cells, they also retain fluids. And because nature's solution to pollution is dilution. I always slow down when I say that because I like to say it faster, but people can't quite grasp it, and I want them to get it this time. So that if nature's solution to pollution is dilution, it is bringing in fluid inside the extracellular space in order to dilute the concentrated toxic buildup. That toxic buildup is what causes inflammation, and inflammation's what drives symptom patterns. Your body to internalize its normal output energy internally. So you feel like your output is low and your productivity is low and your creativity is low, and it's because your body is trying to figure out how to get rid of the blockade, how to deal with this 7 times the size of normal fat cell that is, lurking in and about your tissues, taking up unnecessary, unwanted space, right? And so fat cells are definitely an indicator that you are full of toxins. I don't think that it is accurate to say that people are fat. I think it's more accurate to say and suggest that people are just toxic. Their body is holding on to toxins, and those toxins can't get out of the tissues, and that is why the body said, well, I've got to resort to one of my storage facilities, and in this case, I'm building some storage units. I mean, how many times do we add on to our homes only to find that we just junk up more rooms? You know what I mean? And that's just the battle whenever we're working through the detox process and cleansing out those fat cells. And so where else? I mean, it goes on. Where else?
I have another answer.
Yes, you do.
I'm going to say the liver, because there's a liver detox. So it seems like there would have to be something stored in there if there's a need for detoxing it, and it's important because we talk about it a lot. The liver's the giver.
That's right. So the liver is one of the key ingredients in your chemical processing factory. It's got over 1,500 different pathways. I believe it is involved in every pathway of the body, but we now know that there's 1,500 different ways the liver is involved in function throughout all biochemistry. And so the liver is a very powerful system. Typically, we should not see the liver storing up toxins. It should be processing toxins. But just like earlier when we talked about the bowels being storing in those little pockets and crevices, we hear diagnoses like, oh, I've been diagnosed with fatty liver disease. And then, but the person says, but I'm confused because I don't drink alcohol, and somehow they only associate fatty liver disease with the alcoholic. And I'm like, oh, no, there's another condition out there that it's called non-alcoholic fatty liver syndrome. And when you have non-alcoholic fatty liver syndrome, basically it's the same end result. The liver is now building fat around and inside of its system itself, because it is in and of itself a chemical factory. But think of your kid's bedroom. It might be a little junked up. There might be some stuff on the floor. There might be, stuff on the counters. There might be things left out, maybe some dishes, and you go in there as a parent and you go, good Lord,
Yeah.
Close the door, walk away.
That's what my wife does with me.
Yeah.
Sometimes just like the mess I make. So same thing.
Well, understand I'm blaming my kids, but my wife's probably thinking the same thing right now. She's
Right.
listening in to how I might be. So I'm hoping that I'm getting better after almost 18 years. So I don't know. Maybe I can be taught. But the reality is the liver will definitely store up fat in and around itself and in the extracellular space. And guess what that does to overall function? Does that improve function or discourage function? Of course it discourages it. It lowers its ability to keep up with the workload. So now it creates this perpetuating cycle of toxic buildup. So if the liver is not able to process the day's toxic load effectively, guess what happens? Toxins build up all the more. And so now we are back to the question, where else can the body store toxins? And those that are listening live, you can definitely tune in. If you are coming back and listening, maybe you have an answer, and you can always tune in every week on KHEA Radio. We are on Spotify. You can Apple Podcast, and you can just look us up, Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center, and find our shows. We got tons of great shows and information to help you understand why your body's breaking down. So, Gardy, you got one more for me?
Okay, I'm going to try and think of something else. I said the liver, the skin, the gut. Man.
How about our joints? How many people are rocking around with
Is that arthrongus?
Yes.
Arthrongus.
The infamous arthrongus. There's nothing rightous about it. We can't call it arthritis because it's nothing rightous about it. And
I should have known that, Dr. Chapa. I
You
feel
should
like I
have.
want to punish myself.
It's okay. There's some more supplements that might help turn and activate your brain. They're
Thank
sitting on
you.
your table. You can have those. And so guess what? I mean, yes, the joints, the body will store toxins in the joints. One of the classic symptoms of liver disorders, not necessarily fatty liver disease, but just a liver congestion, okay? So liver congestion is just a symptom, and it shows up in knee pain. It shows up in foot and ankle pain. And so we see this quite often. It's your body's saying, I can't deal with this toxin right now, but it is toxic enough. Remember, anything your body can't use, but sometimes a toxin can be a poison. And who knows what we ate? Who knows what we breathed in? Who knows what we drank? That your body perceives as a poison, and your body pushes it away from the vital core. So when the body pushes toxins away from the vital core, it will store it oftentimes in joint tissue. And those joints now are like you walking barefooted on white rocks. And you think, ouch, ouch, every time you put your foot down. And it's very sharp and not comfortable. And it's like, I thought this was acupressure. I thought this was supposed to feel good. No, it doesn't feel good in this case because the joints are literally like walking around on these little rocks at a microscopic level. Again, buildup of toxicity in the joint capsule irritates and inflames the joint, creating pain, creating discomfort. And so now every step you take, it now progresses because you don't necessarily, you just think, you slept wrong, you think you had a long drive, a long flight, nobody ever associates it with an organ that's malfunctioning. And, one of the things that I would love to help people see is that you can never take a symptom by happenstance. You have to think of, okay, if my sinuses are running, if my allergies just cropped up when I go to this house or I go to this building, you have to go, what did I just get exposed to that my body just said no to? Because something just changed in the environment, and that's why your body is giving you check engine lights. I mean, that has happened. I've been in people's homes before where I don't have allergies, and then all of a sudden, booyah, like something goes awry. And I'm just thinking to myself, okay, well, note to self the first time you don't even think about it because you're just dealing with it. You're just like, oh my gosh, I hope I'm not getting sick and da-da-da-da-da. And then you leave and life's great. Well, then you do it again another time because we're creatures of habit. We find patterns. We associate with similar people, and oftentimes we visit and frequent the same places, and we find ourselves in that same environment, and maybe allergies creep back up, and you get the snot rolling and the ears plugged up and the eyeballs kind of itchy and red, and you say to yourself, what is going on? This is the second time I've been at this place, and you start watching for a pattern. The patterns is your body's symptoms, as your immune response is telling you something's up. Every time you're in that arena, you're getting an immune kick. If you pay attention, you might find that it could be mold, it could be dust, it could be stagnant air. It could be a numerous amount of possibilities that could be activating your body to purge that trash out more effectively. And that's a good thing, which brings me to kind of where we want to start. Let's see. We do have a quick question. Did you see this?
I did, yes.
You want to ask it?
Sure. So this is from Dana. Thank you so much for asking. She said, can you overload the flushing out all at one time? Lymphatic, kidneys, gallbladder, GI/GU body systems.
No question. Of course you can. Oh, yeah. I mean, and just like we can overeat, we can definitely purge out too much too quick. We call those Herxheimer's reactions. People can get a rash from the detox. They can get a headache from the detox. Sometimes it's tricky though. Like, is it the toxin causing the load? The toxin causing the overload, or is it the absence of their vices causing the symptom? Right? So we have to assess it. I oftentimes see, like with respect to headaches, for example, very good question, by the way, Dina, or Dana, I think.
Dana.
Sorry, Dana. Is that if the headache is in the temples, or in the top kind of crown of the head, these are what we call toxic headaches. And it could be very much a metal chemical release. One of the things I love about the Ultimate Detox program is that it is a chemical metal purge. It's one of the things that it does. And so we oftentimes see the toxins coming out of the brain, out of the fat cells, out of the joints, and they have to be recirculated, and they have to get in line. They have to get on the exit route out the body. And if there is congestion, because sometimes, like you said, if there's already a backlog in the liver, then the liver has to allow time to process those toxins as new, and there's a traffic jam. And during that traffic jam, there could be a templar or crown-based headache. That is very common. And then we just address it. If it is that kind of headache, we come in with, obviously, water is an easy way to detox. Lemon ginger teas to open up the channels. But we can simply add beef liver fats. It's in the form of a product we use called Antronex that will open up the liver drainage pathways and help the liver drain out the excess debris so that we can get that line of traffic down the pike so the headache goes away. And oftentimes that is the answer. It literally just needs a little extra drainage support, and then it takes the burden off the liver. The liver can pick up its processing speed, and boom, the exit lane is cleared out, and the headache literally dissolves. That's cool to me that we can control those symptoms. And so if it is in the skin, it's the same thing. But now we want to be supportive of the lymphatic system. So we might come in with something like Spanish black radish, or we might, in some respects, depending, again, how I open the show, some people have this much toxin, whether, I don't know what this much is, but some people have 10 times that much toxin. And so we may have to alter the detox dosing. We can keep the diet, because a diet that is detox friendly, we call a cleansing diet. A cleansing diet is stimulant processed food free. But when you add these subs to the regime, that's when we start pushing or detoxing the body and allowing those things that are stuck deep in the crevices of our bodies, that are hiding in the dark shadows, that need to come out. Those are the ones that we're going after that are ultimately going to wreak havoc long term. But if we get rid of them, they might also rear their ugly head and kind of, give us some bittersweet goodbyes and give us some symptoms we don't like. But we can address that. We use things like Spanish black radish, or we use a product called Lymphanest, which is lymphatic drainage. And by keeping the lymphatics, the body won't push that trash out the skin. It'll keep it in the exit lane so we can get it out of your body. And in some respects, you could detox. I had, I'm not proud of it all the time, but sometimes this happens because, again, detox is a very real process. We've even had some people, get an upset stomach, and I had one lady that, she was filled full up of artificial sugars and never done a detox before, and she came in guns blazing, and by the end of day one, she had a migraine and she vomited. I mean, that has happened before. It's not something that we see often, but anything like that can happen. We're dealing with biochemistry, but that's an indicator. That's an indicator that that your body is filled full of these toxins. So easy solution. We just slowed down the process the first week. And that's why the coaching is so valuable. That's why being a part of the events is so valuable. That is why coming in for a visit is so valuable, so that we can coach you and guide you through it so that stuff doesn't happen. We don't want that to happen 2 days in a row, because what if they quit? What if they say, I'm never doing that again? Well, they missed out. They missed out on an opportunity. If you're not detoxing in the 21st century, you're missing a huge healthcare part of your plan. And I'm telling you, every one of us needs to be detoxing. absolutely positively. I don't know how you could convince me otherwise. If you're even if you're eating all organic food, which nobody is, I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's perfect. You know what I mean? So we have issues even with our organic supply. Is it better than conventional? Yes. Buying local farmers grade? Yes. Always better. But, I mean, nothing's perfect, and everything is still getting exposed to the elements in some capacity.
Here's a question that came in. This is from Christina. She said, as you know, I had gastric sleeve. Could I even do this detox? I know there are some situations, like my wife has been pregnant in the past or nursing or some other things where she couldn't do it. What about with that?
Yeah. You could totally do the detox. We may have, depending on where you're at in how long you've had the sleeve, we may need to alter your plan just a little bit. So we would want you to make sure you're at all the events. And I will say, just on a quick aside, when we have a cool program that when you come to at least 2 of the events, you will be rewarded with an opportunity to be a part of our Macro Fix program for a month. And that is an app-based, macro plan that you can follow up your detox with in order to maximize all your gains and benefits. And it's a way that you can stay plugged into the campfire of learning how to eat off the detox. And then if you come to all 4 classes, we're going to offer some other cool rewards, and we're all even going to be donating to Hope House through Anchor Point Ministries. For the attendees that come and stay with us all 4 classes. So it's a great cause that we're supporting in serving, young pregnant moms that are have made choices that brought kids into the world, that want to keep these kids and save babies and raise those babies in a healthy environment. We educate. We'll see them being educated and prepared for life in a really powerful way. And Hope House is opening up in January. We have a grand opening coming up, and it's just an amazing program. And so we're going to be supporting them this month for those that are willing to come and be educated themselves at all 4 of our detox events. So make sure that you know the times and that you're there. This Thursday, 6:30 is the first one, and you're going to learn a ton. But it's in those small groups where we'll be able to help answer some of these questions or get you into the office so that we can help you figure out what dosing strategy we need to make sure that we take you through. Because, again, if you've had a gastric bypass or gastric sleeve, there is other signs and symptoms. There's more to your story than just a sleeve. We want to unturn those stones. We want to see, what have you been through? What's your history? What took you down that road? And where are we going to go to get you into a place where we make all your changes lasting so that you're more productive, more creative, and more energetic for your family, friends, loved ones, and for the Lord. So, but no question, you should and could do the detox. And so that would be a really awesome opportunity for you. And so, and congratulations. She's been November 7th and down 40 some odd pounds.
That's awesome.
That is really good.
Yeah.
I would, every 10 pounds a person loses, that's a mile of work their heart is not having to do. So same size heart, less work, more efficiency, longer life. And that is a good thing. And so very congratulations to you on that. And so we want to help encourage you to keep those pounds shedding down if you have more to lose, and or keep shedding or keep them down if you're at your goal weight. So, I mean, it's not always about weight loss. It's about health. It's about longevity. It's about understanding the big picture. That's why we encourage 42 days a year of detoxification. It's not a one and done process. We want people to continually go down the path. And so where I'm starting on my detox this year, is I always like to begin with either a gallbladder flush or an intestinal cleanse program, or I'll stick the intestinal cleanse program at the end. But I decided to do it on the front end. So I had my blood work done this morning, and so I started with intestinal cleanse number 2. It's a bentonite clay product that it is a binder. It's got activated charcoal in it, a couple of the soothing herbs, and the whole goal of this is I will take several doses, 5 doses throughout the day, and it will act like a vacuum. It sucks trash unto itself, and it will pull any debris and trash that is in those little pockets that we talked about earlier. It'll pull them out of those little pockets of my intestine, and it will help eliminate those toxins, making room for, one, better absorption. Two, when we start eating more of this fiber, that fiber has an opportunity to create more cleansing effects on those villi and microvilli for efficiency, blood flow. So, fiber is I look at it like the big whirly twirl thing when you go through the car wash and it's beating on your car. It's a little bit aggressive, and so if you rub your arm really hard or if you slap your arm really good, it'll get red, right? So fiber improves blood flow to the intestinal tract, and because the gut lining is everything starts in the gut. I mean, there's a time when I would say 80% of all disease starts in the gut, because, one, I was just trying to be conservative, but now that we've read more, we've studied more, we've seen the world evolve, 100% of all disease starts in the gut. No bones about it, no question about it. Your GI tract is critical. And so I think starting my week before detox with the 5 days on the intestinal cleanse number 2 to help pull the trash out of my bowels, to make sure that anything left over sediment-wise that I took with me from 2021, I'm eliminating before we get into detox. That way I'm better prepped and prepared. So this is just something that I'm adopting this year. A lot of times I'll do this program at the end of the detox, but this year I decided to pull it to the front. And it is and there is no necessarily rhyme or reason to do it at the beginning or the end. I like actually doing it at the end. I may even follow it with a 5-day at the end, because what happens is when detox is happening, there's also debris left over after the remodel. Right? So detoxification is a remodeling. We're improving liver function. We're going to get rid of toxins. We're improving lymphatic congestion. We're cleansing kidney. We're cleansing bowel. There's so much happening on the detox that there could be sediment. So I'm kind of preparing the field on the front end. I'm going to cleanse and detox. I'm going to prepare. I'm going to clean up my mess on the back end and make sure that everything is. I know some of y'all got engaged that frontal lobe. That's funny. And so the intestinal cleanse number 2 acts like a binder in order to bind up that sediment, that debris, and those waste particles that could get stored deep in the pockets and create problems down the road, because anything can get stuck down there, right? So we want to make sure anything that doesn't belong has the best opportunity to be pulled out. Intestinal cleanse number 2, easy peasy, 5 days prior to or after your detox. And this is one of my favorite little detoxes. I always find that the bowels run really great whenever on this protocol, and I always find that I just feel good. I mean, the cleaner your bowels, because everything starts in the gut, your brain will work better. Your body will perform better. Your waking up in the morning will be easier. Your going to bed and sleeping deeper at night will be easier. Your liver will process easier because it has a safe place to dump toxins. So the liver being the giver, we know that if we can keep the bowels clear and clean, one of the things that we'll see happen is the rest of the tissues fall right in line with a healthier, happier bowel system. And you have 3 million more neurotransmitters in your GI tract. So if I take toxins out of the GI tract, the body can focus on those healthier, functioning, buzzing neurotransmitters. And guess what's going to naturally happen? The body's going to just feel better everywhere. It's going to feel better in the mind. You're going to see better. You think better. You're going to perform better. And you're going to go through your day and week and month more effectively. And so this is just a prep game. So I love intestinal cleanse number 2 for that very reason, because it's just a great way throughout the year. I have people do this every quarter. I have people do this every 6 months, especially people that do the protocol and they can't do it at the full dose. You should be able to take an entire bag in 5 days. And so if you look at this bag, there's 300 capsules. That's a lot of pills.
It's capsules in there?
Uh-huh.
I thought it was powder. Can I see?
Yep, yeah, sure. And you should be able to take 10 pills, 12 pills 5 times a day throughout the whole day for 5 days. Clean the bag and your bowels run like clockwork. And people go, that's excessive, Chop. Yes, but understand this is not something this isn't a food, right? This is literally binders. This is cleaning out trash in the body. So the more of this you bring in, the stronger the draw. But going back to the question earlier that Dana had is if you can you overdo it? If everybody started at full power, I find that they can get backed up and constipated. They can get headachy. They can get a rash. They can get allergies. They can get all kinds of symptoms they don't like. So we like this product Under Care because we can guide you and go, okay, based on your history, based on our understanding and what we've seen patients successfully work through, you need to start here at a smaller dose. So we'll oftentimes start people at 2 pills 5 times a day, and that's more than enough. That's a good start for people. We that have done this protocol quite a bit over the years, we've just taken it all the way up to its full capacity, and that's a sign of also it's a test and a remedy in the same bag. It helps your body cleanse. It helps your body pull excess funk and filth out, but if you get constipated, there's the test. If you can't do the 2 pills 5 times a day, if you can't do the 5 pills 5 times a day, if you can't do the 10 pills 5 times a day, we got to find what you can do, number one. But it means that you have trash and debris stuck in your bowels. It's not bad, shame on you product. It's your bowels are so dirty that it's pulling out too much too fast, and we've got to, like Dana suggested, slow that process down. And by slowing that process down, you're able to clean off the top layer of dust and get ready for the next layer of dust. And that is a really safe and good thing to do. So we have people that will leverage the this protocol every month until they can get to the 5 days a month until they can get to the full dose. 5 days, is that too much to ask, Artie?
It's not a lot.
It is work to clean out the house. I remember we just put up all of our Christmas stuff, and we didn't just put up our Christmas stuff. We took every Christmas item we have had in our attic down and out, and we took it out, and we looked at it and said, are we ever going to use that again? No. Are we going to use that one again? No. Are we going to use that one? And we just no a bunch of stuff. And guess what we did? We chunked all that stuff. We had to declutter. But unfortunately, that did not happen in one Saturday afternoon. If it did, I'd probably still be sleeping in as much as that we threw away. But we spread it out over the course of 2 weekends, and we're able to address it. Sometimes your garden is the same way. You have to get out there several weekends in a row to get it healthy and strong, and make sure that you get all those weeds out of there, that you till that ground, make it breathe, that you water it, and that you work with it, and you give it the nutrients and nourishment it needs. Your bowels are the same idea. It is a garden, and we want to clean the garden, and we want to make it function at its best. And sometimes that takes time. Time is your friend. I always tell patients, if you stick with it long enough and follow through the recommendations to the best of your ability, you will get better. Everybody does. And so, and this is, again, just one step in the right direction, working on detoxification and preparing for maximizing my ultimate detox program. Somebody asked me yesterday, Dr. Chapa, what do you hope to learn on detoxification? Well, I think this year one of the things that I'm hoping to figure out is I'm planning on going the full 21 days on a vegetable only kick. So it won't be any protein for me except that for which is in my shakes. So I will be getting some protein, but being able to figure out how much will I need to consume in the form of calories and vegetables in order to get through workouts and stuff.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of calories in the greens and the lettuce. That's why you can eat as much as you want until you're not hungry, as opposed to if you're eating like burgers and steaks and chicken and stuff like that, right?
Correct. I mean, I'm going to burn up some fuel quick, right? But I'm hoping that I have less inflammation. I'm hoping that I might see some interesting, gains, and if I can get the intake right. I mean, so I'm kind of excited to experiment with detox and vegetables, and because I'm also, don't forget, asking my body to detox. So I don't know that I'm going to be able to train at full capacity while under detox arena.
Mm-hmm.
but that's okay too, right? Like even if I have to cut down 30 minutes of workout or go every couple days and give my body more breaks, to allow that internalized workout to happen, it's not a setback, right? I mean, it might be a good thing to give the body a break anyway, and go internal, go inside and clean the house. Look at all those, fine areas that need a little bit of attention that I've neglected because I've been aggressively training and eating, a lot of animal proteins over the last couple years. And so this is something that I'm looking forward to incorporating. I've done vegetable workouts, diet plans before, but I incorporated like beans and some seeds and things of that nature. So, but this time it's going to be a little bit different, and so it's literally going to be vegetables. So root vegetables will be included, like sweet potatoes, but it'll include a lot of different vegetables, and that I'll probably look like if you saw my picture on Facebook yesterday, I'll probably look like a Brussels sprout by the time I'm done with this thing. So, because I really like Brussels sprouts. They're really great for the liver. Asparagus, great for the kidneys, some of my two favorite foods. And so I'll leverage the heck out of those, but I'll be bringing in quite a variety of other vegetables to get so I'm not completely like, stir crazy, not having anything to eat of variety. But that's the other cool thing that I love is, when you figure out that vegetables take on the spices that you apply to it and you apply the right spice game, man, there's a lot of cool stuff you can incorporate there and make the same food taste different 3 times a day, just by changing the spices up. And so we'll be incorporating some of these ideas throughout the detox process, and I think my brain's going to be sharper. I think my body's going to be less inflamed. I think I'm going to sleep better. I think my system is just going to say thank you, and I'm really looking forward to it. This will be number 43, detoxes for me, and so I'm excited to go through yet another one with our team at Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center and with our tribe, the people that are going to be joining us on the horn and at this Thursday, starting out at Butler's Courtyard, 6:30 p.m. And we invite you to come. It's a free event, and it's an opportunity for you to get access to the Macrofix program. It's an opportunity to tap into our InBody program. It's an opportunity for you to join us in supporting the Hope House Ministry that's launching this month, and supporting babies and young mothers, and helping to educate and prepare the next generation for a brighter and more effective and powerful future. And so we're excited about detoxification at Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center, and I know that those that have done it before, you're excited about doing it again, and we're going to plus it for you. We're going to make it better for you. We're excited. We have some cool giveaways to offer. We're going to have all kinds of stuff that if you're there at the event, you'll be able to have access to. If you need, and for those that are brand new, you're going to get a wealth of information. You're going to be blown away by how easy it is to put this into play into 2022. And even if you're unsure, we've had people come to just the classes and just sit and chill, and they listen and they watch and observe, and then they get involved week 2. They get involved week 3. You can detox all through February. This is not just this time frame and that's it. We have people that are going on vacation that won't be able to join us during the program, but they will join us for sure at the end of the program, and they'll continue onward into February, living bright and feeling great. As you guys that start earlier with us that will feel in the process. So we are just really excited about what's coming. We want you guys to tap into all that we have to offer, and visit our website at justlivewell.com. We got some great information up there about our detox, and we're going to have our Facebook group for those that are already tuning in. We're going to have some great giveaways in that group as well, our cookbooks and just tools and resources to help you maximize the detox, and we'll have opportunities for us to share recipes and share ideas moving through the process. So at Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center, we believe that all life starts and stops at the cellular level, and nutrition is the fundamental backbone. It drives everything. It helps you move onward, upward, goodward, and Godward. Or, unfortunately, you might find yourself crashing and burning. So hopefully after the holidays you haven't crashed and burned, but we get a hold of you quick, fast, and in a hurry so that we can get you moving onward in a direction that you want to go. We know that if you're dealing with any symptom pattern, any condition, any situation, a detox will help you. It will help your body perform better. It'll help it live better. It'll help your not just live better in the moment, but even into the future. So join us this Thursday, 6:30 p.m. at Butler's Courtyard, and you will learn some amazing things about detox and what is in store coming up the next 21 days. So God bless you guys today. We will see you next week, same time on KHEA Radio.
Make sure you go subscribe to the Living Well podcast. Search Just Live Well. You can search Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center, Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. Wherever you get your podcast from, it's there. This is KHEA Radio.